My wife promised our daughter a special birthday celebration during her work retreat, then abandoned our crying child to hook up with her coworker instead, so I demanded the truth when she returned with a suspicious bug bite on her neck. Now, our daughter won't even include her mother in family drawings. Posted by you/ThrowRASunflowerBuff. I, 27M, am in a fight with my wife, 28F. We have had fights before but not this bad. I am at a loss on how to proceed. For context, we are college sweethearts married for almost 6 years. We have a daughter, 4F. Our relationship was never perfect or without challenges. We have faced some family opposition with cultural differences, but we have made it work. She is my first love and my best friend. My wife works in a corporation. Her job is annual work retreats that last about a week. This year was in Vegas. I usually arrange my work schedule and tag along with her, and we make our own trip out of it. We could not this year. Our daughter gets major anxiety traveling long distances. We are working on it, but she was not budging, and we decided to choose our battles. So I stood back and held the fort at home. The change of plans was a bummer because the trip was part of us reconnecting as both a couple and as a family. My wife's work hours have taken a toll, and her work and life balance leaves much to be desired. We entertained the idea of her skipping the retreat. Attendance is optional, but it is generally frowned upon if you do not, and my wife is making connections in her field. She grew increasingly weird. We have a system if either of us is away for extended periods. We keep in contact. For the first day or so, she was herself, but she grew distant. I would even text her about important stuff and be left on read while she claimed she never saw my text. Whenever we talked, she was rushing me or our daughter off the phone. These were all times she was not involved in retreat activities. We were supposed to have a mini birthday celebration for our daughter over FaceTime. Our daughter was excited. It was something my wife promised her because the retreat overlapped her actual birthday. But my wife backed out because she had people up to her room after a seminar. It was like she wanted my permission to break her promise to our daughter. I told her I was not offering that nor making her keep her word. She said I was not being fair, and this was a networking opportunity. They were business-oriented and would not understand her stepping away for family time. I said her decision is her decision, but she would have to explain it to our daughter. She promised her that she would rain-check the following day. Our daughter did not understand and cried. My wife ended up hanging up and leaving me to comfort our daughter alone. That whole incident rubbed me the wrong way. I did not like it. She did not keep her word for the rain check either. She was documenting the retreat on social media. One coworker, 23M, was almost in every pic and video attached to her hip. In one pic he had his arm too comfortably around her in my opinion. He is a recent hire in my wife's department. She was asked to oversee him. I do not like the guy. He doesn't know boundaries. Once, in response to a work assignment, he texted my wife that she is exactly the kind of woman he needs to keep him in check. My wife had brushed it off. She feels sorry for him because he is not fitting. She took him under her wing during his first retreat with the team. If I had questioned, she would say she was tired or networking. There was always something. But I have seen her at these retreats. This was not like her. She was just off. The day before her return, she complained of a bruise on her neck. She stressed it was a bug bite. I did not actually see the bruise until she came home. I instantly thought it was a full-on hickey. She kind of brushed it off after making a big deal of it over the phone. I did not push because our daughter was present. But when I was able to confront her, she clung to her bug bite claim. When I kept pushing, she asked what I was trying to imply. I outright said I believed she had a hickey, and I did not believe she was being honest with me. We had it out then. She was offended and pissed at the accusation. Infidelity has always been a sore topic. Her family has a history of infidelity. So we had a pretty bad fight, and she accused me of looking to pick a fight due to the incident with our daughter's birthday. I told her it had nothing to do with that and everything to do with the hickey on her neck. The fight ended in an impasse. We are still not recovered. She swears it is a bug bite. But I am not convinced. I have always trusted my wife. I never doubted her, but this bruise does not look like a bug bite. It looks like a hickey. I only feel more strongly when I consider how distant and weird she was during the Vegas retreat. Now she has been wearing turtlenecks ever since. We are caught between arguing and her dousing our daughter and me with affection. Communication usually prevails for us, but not now. I think my accusation pushed us to a new level of argument. I am at a loss here. I really need outside perspectives. How do I move forward? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. I am not saying it is impossible, but I have never received a bug bite that looked like a hickey. Did she show you her phone or provide any proof that could support her innocence or just dismiss you? The extra affection is a common move from guilt-ridden cheaters. Even if we stretch the imagination and believe it is a big bite, she was not acting trustworthy nor was she a good mother while she was in Vegas, and she needs to address and correct that. Up. No, I had no access to her phone. We usually have an open phone policy, but it is not something we have ever really done. I am sure it will be another argument. Commenter 2. Why did you go on work trips with her in the past? Did she want you to, or did you not want her to go alone? What is, and why is it necessary to have, the system when one of you is away? Whose idea was the FaceTime birthday celebration? Did she not talk to the daughter at all on her birthday or just could not do the FaceTime celebration? Up. Work and life balance was an issue, so she would invite me to the retreats. The system is for extended periods away from each other, like how long the retreat was, especially since we have a child now. Birthday FaceTime was my wife's idea. She promised our daughter and got her excited about it. No, she did not talk with our daughter until she was calling to cancel. That is another reason the birthday stunt rubbed me the wrong way. Op responding to a deleted comment. Yeah, you do not get to disconnect from being a parent, especially to a minor, for extended holidays. You certainly do not ghost them on their birthday and when you promise to do something special for them and got the child excited about it, or hang up on them while they are crying. I am not insecure. My wife has retired before. We both work outside the home and have to care for our daughter. So it is not an imbalance. My wife's work and life balance is out of sorts. She is in the company of many other adults. I have been with my wife at these retreats and other social events. I know how she is. She was off this entire trip, nor did she appreciate her entertaining a coworker, who ignores boundaries, having his arm wrapped around her waist like he was claiming her or something. I trusted her when she said she had a bug bite. I got things to help her treat it when returned. It was only after I saw the bruise in person that there was no mistaking it was a hickey for me, and I questioned her on it. Update 1, 7 days later. I wanted to give an update and thank everyone who reached out. The outside perspectives helped. Things are a roller coaster. I am trying to process. It took a while for my wife and I to have any real conversation about the bruise on her neck. We were stuck between arguing and her showering our daughter, 4F, and me with affection. I rarely saw the bruise because she was turtlenecked up. But I did note the healing process from reddish purple to yellow. There was no more discussion of Vegas retreat. She made it clear she was done talking about it and that she should not need to defend herself to her husband. I told her she could do whatever she wanted, but I was done being treated like an idiot, and I was not sharing a bed with someone I could not trust. So I moved into the guest room. Communication stopped. The silences were palpable. Even our daughter noticed. I am not proud of that. I try keeping her out of fights. My wife came to the guest room one night and asked if we could talk. I could tell she had been crying. She said she hated how things were between us. She felt she was losing me anyway. I told her I needed complete honesty. She confessed she hooked up with that coworker, 23M, on our daughter's birthday. The hickey was from him. She was lost in the heat of the moment and did not realize he was sucking so hard on her neck. By her account, they made out while doing some on top of the clothes stuff and then he went down on her. It stopped there because he called her by a nickname that I affectionately call her. It snapped her back to the reality of her actions. She went to splash water on her face and saw the hickey. The guy made light of it and made a joke about the hickey being her souvenir. She blew up on him and kicked him out of her suite. Part of the reason she was avoiding me was out of guilt. She said she is coming clean because she does not want to hide things anymore. I asked her why she cheated. What was it about that guy she deemed worth risking everything? She claimed it was not him specifically, nor is she unhappy with our marriage. She does not really know how to explain it, but a part of her feels broken. The more she looks in the mirror, the more she sees her dad, 57M. A cycle of being consumed with work, distant from the child, and the infidelity he put her mom, 55F, through. She said her family never talked about anything openly and how when she was growing up, my mill never addressed anything with her. I said her parents did not make her cheat. She chose to party up with a guy who constantly disrespected our relationship. These were all her decisions, and she at any point could have chosen our family. She agreed. She wants to blame her parents but realizes this is on her. She apologized for cheating and for entertaining the guy's advances. She said she will do whatever it takes to repair, go to HR, quit her job, counseling, anything. She wants to make everything right. I told her I do not know what right looks like or if that is possible for us anymore. I knew we had our problems, but I thought there was nothing we could not talk about. She insisted we still could talk it out. We did not have to give up. She tried giving this rally cry for our relationship, but I felt very numb. I said I did not recognize her. Not just the betrayal of our vows but also how she treated our daughter. She is like a stranger. She feels she failed as a wife and mom, but she loves us both beyond words and wants our life together and our family intact. I told her I could not give her the answer she wanted and thought we needed to separate and reevaluate. She did not want separation. She felt we should stay together in our house, but I told her a separation was happening. Either she was leaving the house or I was with our daughter. She consented to leaving so as to best not uproot our daughter so much. She asked that our daughter not be taken from her. My wife is staying with my in-laws. I know that is difficult in itself because she does not have the best relationship with her parents. One of the hardest parts is the shift for our daughter. Right now, she believes her mom is just busy with work as usual. She has not questioned it too much. My mill called the other day. She made no excuses for my wife, but she is advocating for us to work through it. She told me times when she heard my wife describe me as the anchor she always wanted. She believes there is something worth fighting for if I'm open. Despite some family opposition we faced throughout our relationship, my mill was always a supporter of us. I am even more at a loss. I never imagined this kind of betrayal from my wife. She was my safe place. I feel numb yet broken. I am in love with her. That has not changed. But I do not see myself, her, our relationship, or our family the same. Everything is more tense because it is fresh. I think this period of separation is for the best. I am not sure about divorce. I have not let myself fully go there. I am not set either way. I do not know where things go from here, but I am focusing on our daughter and taking things one step at a time. I feel that is all I can do now. Thanks again to everyone for the support. It is much appreciated. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. It was already established that there had been line crossing with the coworker prior to the trip, even if it was not physical yet. But even if there had not been, I have known coworkers' pet names for their significant others before when only interacting with them on a professional level. The fact that the guy both intentionally gave her a hickey and used the pet name says a whole hell of a lot about him, though. Someone willing to engage in an affair is bad enough. This guy was doing it as some sick power play. Commenter 2. It is also possible it is something super common like honey or baby. Up. No, it is a specific nickname. It is not derived from her name or anything. It just summed up things I loved about her in one word. Apparently he turned it into a sexual context. Commenter 3. One question, how close was the colleague to her to know her nickname that you use? And why did she let him this close to her literally and figuratively? Up. At the time, I knew they had a friendship. She was asked to mentor him as he joined her department. So she took him under the wing and was supposed to be showing him the ropes. They would text and stuff and he would cross boundaries. His texts increasingly read like a guy fishing for an opportunity. My wife shut the idea down as not even a factor for her. I chose to trust my wife because I never had a reason to doubt her before. As far as the nickname, it was something only I called her, but it was not like a secret thing. I called her before others and our daughter. She claims the guy overheard me say it when she had me on speaker once, and he asked her about it after. Update 2 weeks later. Thank you again to everyone. I could not respond to every message, but everything is appreciated. I wanted to provide an update. Things have been a little chaotic with the new status quo after my wife's affair, but I am taking everything one step at a time. My wife and I explained the separation to our daughter, in simple, concrete terms, and reassured her that we both still love her without going into the reasons behind the separation. Our daughter has always been an observant kid, but I do not think the separation has hit her yet. She does not see the difference between her mom not being home and her usual busy with work. During visits, she is more distant towards her mom and clings to me. My wife attempted to play with her on this toy set, but our daughter was not having it and shouted at her mom that she did not want to play with her. The disconnect between my daughter and wife hurts in a way I'm still processing. I knew my wife's work and life balance took its toll. Pre-Vegas, we were supposed to be working on reconnecting, but just how fractured things are is a lot more apparent. Our daughter interacts very little with her mom and becomes quiet around her like she does with strangers. I feel at her age we, as her parents, should be who she is closest with and not this disconnected from her mom. Their dynamic is something I have been reflecting on. My main focus is making sure my daughter is okay through all of this. As far as between my wife and me, she is advocating for us to reconcile. She has expressed she wants to work on our marriage not solely for our daughter but because she loves me. Her rally cries for our relationship are still falling flat for me. I cannot give her what she wants now. I told her I wish she would have given herself these rallies before cheating. She is adamant about the affair timeline and what occurred with the coworker, 23M. They connected because she felt bad he was not fitting in. He kept flirting and treating her like royalty. It started feeling good on the rougher workdays. They had an emotional affair even though she did not label it as such at the time. The EA turned physical during the retreat. She left her life at home in Vegas. She still swears they had lovemaking only once. The hickey came from foreplay, and while giving her oral, he called her my nickname for her, which shook her out of it. She snapped at him about his immature attitude with the hickey and then kicked him out of her suite. She thought she could quietly end things and salvage our marriage. I asked her if she wore her wedding ring during lovemaking with him. She confessed that she did. Knowing this hurts like hell. To me, our wedding rings were a physical symbol of our love, commitment to our vows, and our bond. She tarnished our rings. I have not been able to wear mine. It never hurts any less. There are just new levels to the hurt. She admits contributing to blurred lines. She has now changed her number and claims to have cut contact with the coworker. She reported the affair to HR. The company has suspended both while investigating the extent to which the affair impacted the department. Coworker relations violate their policy, and it does not look good for my wife in terms of power balance since she was the guy's mentor. They are also calling into question if she gave him favoritism. Some have suggested I reach out to the coworker. I have considered it, but I am not in a place to. I feel a lot of anger towards him. He knew exactly what he was doing with the hickey and nickname stunt. I would get nothing from him except trouble. He is not worth it. I am choosing to focus on my daughter. I have chosen to pursue marriage counseling. This is not under the promise of reconciling but as an assist in working through this separation as healthy as possible for our daughter. I am still numb in many ways. I never thought this would be how my marriage and family turned out. I have seen it happen to others. I have heard stories. I thought I knew how it was. But it is nothing compared to dealing with it yourself. I do not feel like the same person anymore. I do not know how everything will pan out. It is an uphill battle, but I am trying to show up to the battle. It is the best I can do now. Thank you to everyone who has reached out. I appreciate the support, really. Update 3, 2 weeks later. Things are not easy. I do not expect them to be. I do not regret the decision to separate. It was necessary. In many ways, I feel like my hand was forced with the betrayal and all the lies. I am still finding my footing. I do not put people on pedestals, nor did I ever believe my wife's and my relationship was perfect. I just did not think we would end up like this after all this time together. While HR were still conducting their investigation on my wife and the coworker, 23M, my wife resigned. Apparently she received pushback. Some of the top brass were pulling for her to stay on. I was not too surprised because she has always been a yes employee who gets the job done. She worked with the company as a college intern. She said she wants to prove that she is taking every possible action and cutting ties with the guy. I do not know what the investigation result was for him. I do not care, to be honest. It is not my concern. We have officially begun marriage counseling. It is a new experience overall. I did not know what to expect. We are mostly discussing our relationship's journey up to now, the affair, and what we want from counseling. My wife's position on how the affair began remains consistent. She cannot explain it accurately. She was not unhappy with me, but a part of her feels broken. The undivided special attention became like a drug to her. The convo kind of shifted to my in-laws, 57M and 55F, my wife's family life, and the impact of my Phil's infidelity. She believes she is a reflection of her dad and how she is as both a parent and a spouse. As a parent, she tried convincing herself she was better than him by showering our daughter with gifts in light of her lacking presence. As a spouse, she tried convincing herself she was better because the affair was not physical pre-Vegas. She thought as long as they did not do anything physical, then she was better than her dad. That was something she told her affair partner while in Vegas actually. They could hang out as long as it did not turn physical. I feel like she had so many chances to choose differently, to choose us and our family, but she tossed our daughter and myself to the train tracks. Our relationship was not enough to stop her, our wedding rings were not enough, and our crying daughter was not enough. She chose herself every time. She was selfish. She mentions the nickname thing, making her snap back to reality as if it is supposed to make me feel better. It does not. I believe she only stopped at oral because she got off and had no more need to go further. I was not on her mind. Telling me that I was is like trying to put a band-aid on a gunshot wound. I did not plan to say half of everything I did, but there was no going back once the door was opened during my turn to talk. She agreed and said she has no excuse for her actions. It is not her parents, it is just her. She swore that she loves me and our daughter and wants to fight for our family. I told her that the I love yous felt hollow now. She shut out our daughter and myself to give an intimate part of herself to her coworker. She said she realizes how much larger than just the affair our problems are. She struggles connecting with our daughter and worries about messing her up, so she left the primary caretaking to me. She believes I'm better. She said that there is nothing she can say to change anything, but she wants to show change through her present actions. That is some stuff we have dug through in counseling. We are still in the early stages. But I believe it is aiding in communication through separation, which is more healthy for our daughter. Our therapist recommended individual counseling as a complement. It is something I am seriously researching for myself. Not much has changed with our daughter since the previous update. She still does not feel there is a difference between her mom being home or not. I have watched her go from talkative and playful to instantly completely silent when her mom came by. I have scheduled her for play therapy. I do not know what to expect from that either, but I am hoping for the best. My main goal is being present for her. I know I need to learn to trust again in general. That is shot right now. Pre-Vegas, I never had a reason to doubt my wife. My trust was something she had as an irreplaceable partner. I have been betrayed before, but this one did a number in a way the others had not. I am trying to stay afloat and focus on what I have rather than what I lost. I cannot afford to get lost in myself. Thank you all for the support and for sharing your own experiences. Talking about all this is not easy for me, but I appreciate the openness. Update 4, 11 days later. I do not have much new to say about therapy in itself. I am staying the course with marriage counseling. My wife and I have both begun individual counseling. It is an interesting experience and has given me an outlet. I see as a great addition to MC. My wife is keeping her therapy appointments. She is journaling too. I am surprised because journaling was not something she has ever really believed in. In MC, she said it is helping her reflect. Our daughter has begun play therapy. We are still in the early stages. She is hesitant but comes around to it. Once she gets going, though, you cannot get the toys out of her hands. It is reassuring seeing her in an environment where she is engaging and being more herself. It gives me hope that she will be okay through everything. The play therapist has been discussing when to best involve my wife. Nothing is concrete yet. I also want to progress at a rate our daughter is comfortable with and not force anything. I am really proud of her. She is a major reason why I cannot regret being with my wife. There are a lot of things I would tell my younger self, but if I had chosen a different path, then I would not have my daughter. It is something I would not change. I had another major challenge recently. It was my wife's and my anniversary. Our anniversary always meant something to me. Even with her terrible work and life balance, we would make an effort to make the occasion special. I felt a lot of conflicting emotions about our anniversary this year. Mostly pain. We had plans. Everything was booked and set pre-Vegas retreat. Needless to say, the trip was cancelled. My wife wanted to keep our plans intact. I told her that was not happening. Without the trip, she said she still wanted us to spend our official anniversary together instead of separately. I turned her down. We discussed it in therapy. I expressed I did not have the needed trust in her to let myself be vulnerable with her as I once was. I needed to process the anniversary myself. The anniversary had me having all these strange thoughts. A lot of it highlighted how much I miss my friend and partner. I am not talking about reconciliation. I am not entertaining that right now. I am talking about something deeper. To share a life with someone and everything that entails, them being your partner and closest friend, and then having what you devoted yourself to yanked away. I cannot be with her in all the ways I wanted. Call it simping. Call it foolish. Call it a doormat. Call it whatever you want. I just call it the facts of falling in love and giving them your all for a long time, then finding out they had another life, and losing what you held close. It hurts, and I had not let myself actually feel it until then. I feel like everything moves on. Life moves on. My wife's affair partner, 23M, moves on. Work moves on. And here I am. I'm the one living the loss. I'm the one paying. I also wanted to address an FAQ. I have been asked a lot about what I meant in my first post about the cultural differences and family opposition my wife and I faced. We are an interracial couple. My wife is Korean. We are both minorities, but my Phil, 57M, and his side of the family wanted my wife to settle down with someone who is Korean. They are conservative in their beliefs. So I was not exactly welcomed, and we dealt with opposition from that angle. It was rough. Even at our wedding, my Phil was more of a silent attendee. Because of my wife and Phil's strained relationship, she was firm that she did not care about his approval. She rejected him walking her down the aisle, which, of course, did not help their relationship. My wife made her own choice. I had nothing to do with it, but anger was thrown at me. My Phil took it as I influenced her against him, and his side of the family said my wife was not being a good daughter. Things with my Phil did not really mend until our daughter. He mellowed after becoming a grandpa and became receptive toward me. Despite our past, he is doting as a grandparent. My Mill, 55F, is a different story. She has always been welcoming and supportive of our relationship. Her support made a difference. She has been like a mother to me. I am realizing more and more the rippling effects of an affair. How much it just takes and consumes. The different facets to the loss. I lost not only the life I chose but also family and friends. Just keep losing. That is pretty much all there is to update about. Thank you all for the support. Even if I could not respond, just knowing everything is greatly appreciated. It means a great deal. Update 5, 2 weeks later. Sorry for the lack of response. There are a lot of replies and questions I have, 27M, missed due to things being chaotic. I wanted to address what I could not reply to and give an update. Play therapy is a learning curve. My daughter is still hesitant, but she is getting more used to the therapist. I think the current pace we have set works. I am letting her be in the moment and allowing that to guide what she is ready for. I do not want to force anything. My wife is now being included in PT. The focus so far is letting her and our daughter engage together in playful activities guided by the therapist and addressing behavioral and emotional challenges and improving communication. Something we are tackling is feeling charade. I have never done it before. Our daughter usually communicates with me on her own, but she struggles with wording certain emotions. It is completely understandable, she is only 4. My hope is these exercises will only benefit her. My wife's inclusion has not been progressive, to be honest. We are still in the early stages. I do not know, our daughter really clams up around her. She is okay with my wife being in the room, but she is not very receptive otherwise. Recently for play therapy, my daughter made a drawing of our family. It was mostly stick figures, but she had her own little style to it and indicators of who was who. It was adorable but also bittersweet. The drawing included herself, me, and her grandparents, but not her mom. My wife was nowhere to be found. When asked where her mom was, my daughter's exact words were "Uma's never around and Uma's mean." Mean is typically how our daughter communicates that someone has hurt her or someone else. She called her mom when my wife broke her FaceTime birthday promise during the Vegas retreat. She said it before my wife hung up. There was another time around the holidays she called my wife mean. My daughter was assisting me with baking, and she got really excited and cheering. My wife was supposed to join us, but she did not and took a work call. She raised her voice at our daughter as she told her to quiet down. I did not like the tone my wife took with our daughter. She was just excited and wanted to help, and it was supposed to be family time. My wife was the one who took a work call in the same room without warning anyone. We argued later, but it was resolved, and she apologized to our daughter. Being left out of the drawing bothered my wife. She has expressed that she overthinks and does not believe she is good at connecting with our daughter. She feels our daughter prefers me over her. The whole incident struck another chord with me. I have been mulling it over. We have discussed it in MC and, for me, in IC. It hurts to see how fractured things are between my daughter and my wife. Despite my wife's infidelity, I do not take pleasure in a suffering relationship. I am not rooting against her. I want their relationship to be okay. I believe my daughter needs her mom too. Am I wrong in thinking that there are things a daughter will want to talk with her mom about or to share specifically with her mom even if the other parent is involved? Part of me feels responsible for their lack of relationship. Like I should have stepped in sooner. I never realized how bad things were. Before, I held on to the promise of just one more work project, and then my wife would be involved more, and how we were still a family. The affair changed my outlook. I do not know when exactly things went off course. Having kids was something we both wanted. It was not a singular convo but one we revisited over the years. We actually wanted more kids. Pre-affair we had discussions, but I had put that potential on hold because it was clear we needed to reconnect as the family unit was already present. I saw and felt the love and care my wife had for our daughter while pregnant. It was palpable. I always thought our daughter was evidence of the bond we shared. My wife's maternity leave ended shortly after she gave birth, and she resumed work full-time at the office. I would say there was a noticeable change then, and the disconnect grew from there. I just feel like somewhere along the line I let my daughter down and perhaps was also blinded by my love for my wife. I am at a complete loss. I feel their relationship falls on me. The play therapist said we can only take it one step at a time. I have been frequently asked about our daughter picking up on the rift between my wife and me and whether we have fought in front of her. I wanted to address that here. My wife and I have had our fights, but I cannot say we have fought in front of our daughter. We would usually pause and revisit if our daughter was around and not let it.